Hello everyone, this is T-Colin, and I wanted to do a quick review of my experience so far with the game Spacepunk's Open Beta. Spacepunks, per definition of the developers, is a living, evolving, free-to-play online co-op action RPG space romp that will see you shooting and looting your way across the galaxy, blaze a trail alone, or team up with three fellow intergalactic thieves to form a formidable fortune-hunting foursome. Lay siege to hordes of alien scumbags, harvest their loot, and tool up to take on bigger and more lucrative bosses. The best way I could personally describe this game is if you've played other top-down isometric games such as Diablo, Torchlight, or Path of Exile. Where Spacepunks may differ from these games is its gameplay is a lot more complementary of co-op. It is recommended that you do play with a controller, as the controls benefit from analog stick controls better than a mouse and keyboard, given the gun controls require aiming before being able to shoot. You get a choice of 4 different characters. First is Bob, who resembles one of those Men in Black bugs. He utilizes gadgets and explosives. Next is the midget cyberpunk pig, Finn. He's all about being right in the middle of action, using rockets to cull herds of enemies. And then there's the walking hentai chick, Eris, using tentacles of nanobots to aid in controlling and killing enemies that dare stand in her way. And then there's Duke. He utilizes his cocky attitude and holograms to keep enemies distracted so he can finish them off with ease. Personal take though, I do find myself annoyed just like the enemies when Duke deploys his hologram. I've only played for about 3 hours, or just enough time to get to the first boss enemy. So my review will be more about the beginning of the game rather than the game as a whole. To get my negativity out of the way, I'll tell you what issues I've had with the game so far. So right out the door, I wasn't quite sure how to navigate. This could have been some personal issues on my end, but I wasn't sure how the controls were going to work, and we were kind of just dropped into the main HUD without much prior explanation. After listening to the introduction pop-up, we are sent to start our experience. It tells you to go to the console, but doesn't quite explain what the console is. You're dropped in front of the relay, which you will go to queue up for future missions, but since the console is already on the screen, it doesn't give you too much of an indicator saying what the console is. Walking away does help you initially understand that the icon it wants you to go to is yellow in color, but I wish it was a little less subtle. One of my last gripes I probably have with this game so far is the random feeling difficulty of this game. I've gone into games where I felt like I could kill everything without any issue, and some where I get completely floored and I have no idea how to properly progress. There is recommended power levels, but I've had issues with a level I was over-leveled for no reason. I thought maybe I just didn't have a full team and that was the issue, but I've completed missions that were supposed to be more difficult with ease alone or just with another random player. And why I've so far ended my experience when writing this review was with the boss. Bullet Sponge felt like an understatement. Maybe we were just vastly underleveled or something, but it felt like a lifetime to finish off the boss, who was just taking pixel slivers of health off with every 30 or so shots we were firing at it. I believe the full time from when we started the boss to when we killed it was about 10 minutes. It wasn't difficult personally, but it felt like it took way too much time to finish a boss off than it should have. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I dislike this game. I still find a lot about it interesting and appealing to myself. The gameplay is still very fun, and even more so with friends, which is what this game thrives on. It's very possible to play by yourself, but every aspect of this game rewards you with playing with others, and not going off and doing your own thing. There's this thing called synergy, which makes fights and missions a lot more interesting. For example, with Bob, his main skill is a turret. With implemented synergies with other characters, it can be a lot more powerful, like a sniping turret when deployed with Eris, or it can have its own shield and last longer with Finn. Each character has their own synergies that can change how their skills work, and it makes the game a lot more fun and interesting. The Krafton 20,000 doesn't really have that much of a tutorial, but it is a major focal point of the game itself, and I would definitely like to take more time in learning it because it really allows you to customize the guns and upgrade the ones that you enjoy, and I'm really excited to see what it allows you to customize later on. And of course, on the topic of customization, your character also has a skill tree which allows you to tweak your character to match your gameplay style. Do you prefer melee weapons, guns, or would you rather go for more survivability with increases to stats and or movement? I've already reset my skill tree a couple of times, and there seems to be no penalty for resetting it, so I would say keep trying everything to find out what fits your playstyle the best. I could keep going and complaining or praising the game, but overall it is still just in beta. It'll no doubt be fine-tuned and change as the beta goes on. It's free, so it's always worth to try out, so go ahead and download it and see how you like it for yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take it easy.